All right, welcome to the G2 podcast, episode 5. We got two of our execs with us. We've got Aaron, who is our tech, and Trevor, who is our media manager. So we're going to, of course, start off as usual with our chicken hot sauce challenge, where we will take some chicken wings and we'll start from the right. And they're not in any really particular order, but this side will kill us regardless.
Unlucky.
So, yeah. So let's go ahead and grab our chicken.
Okay.
And we've also got Clayton over here, who's a prospect. He's just sitting off there wondering how things are going.
Eternal prospect.
Eternal.
Yeah, all right. I'll send you eternal.
We love you, just not that much.
Maybe when he shaves that mustache, we'll think about it.
We'll let him on camera once he shoves the pedo mustache.
Yeah. All right, so go ahead and grab some chicken.
I mean, shit, you got some scissors. I'll shave it right now.
You want some chicken?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
You sure? Because it's really good.
I got Waffle House before I came.
At least take one. You're gonna love
Here.
it.
Just don't knock the
Get
camera,
my fingers
please.
on it for you.
Is that chair comfortable?
Yeah, it's like the casting couch.
Well, he's the one sitting in it, so I don't know how to take that.
All right, so what we got there? Chipotle?
Chipotle.
Chipotle? However you say it.
That has annoyed me every podcast I've watched. You said Chipotle, and I'm like, I want to kill myself.
I do it intentionally.
It doesn't surprise me.
So
It's better than people intentionally calling it Chipotle.
All right, we got this Chipotle level 1 hot sauce.
Oh, goodness. It's good stuff, though. I like it.
Yeah, the lower tier stuff is, not that
Tolerable,
bad.
tastes good.
Let's see here. So, our first topic, pretty standard, is your history with G2 and how you got your call sign.
Oh my goodness, my history.
And
Well, let me
I
take
know it
my
says the
bite.
history. With yours, is it not your 2 histories with G2? Considering
Quitter.
you quit?
Quitter. Where are all those sandbags?
Swallow my chicken.
Yeah, we'll start with Aaron, though, on that question, and we'll go over to you, Trevor.
My history with G2, so I don't even remember what year it was at this point.
Yeah, that's a good question.
I want to say it was like 6 years ago, maybe 5 years ago.
I think you came in maybe like a year after I did. Maybe
Well,
a little
Mar was
longer.
on the team has been on the team longer than I have. But either way, it was like Explosive Sunset number 2. Was the first event of airsoft I ever played. So I guess to kind of back it up, I went to Virginia to visit one of my buddies, and I stopped by the Ballahack Pro Shop that they have over there at Virginia Beach. So I go in there like a dummy. I buy the most expensive airsoft gun that they have on the rack. It was a VFC Avalon, but it was a bronze-colored body, so I thought it was, super cool. I'd never played airsoft before, barely knew really about it. So I go get that gun, I bring it back, and then I'm searching the internet trying to find what events are going on. Myself, not even looking to see if airsoft's even popular in Ohio. So I go and I find the old Airsoft Ohio forums. And I seen that G2 had posted events on that forums in the past. So I started looking onto it, found it on Facebook, seen that there was an event coming up there at Fallen Warrior in Chillicothe. And that was the first event I went to. And to this day, it's probably still one of my favorite events that I've ever been to because, looking back, nostalgia and
It was
what
really
have
good.
you. So after that, I played airsoft still here and there, mostly at I-70 back during that time. And then G2 hosted an event, Nighthawk, there at I-70. So I went to that, talked with Lucas Bobstone, who you had on the podcast, talked with him about, actually joining, see if you guys were adding members. And he told me, yeah, pretty much talk to you. And then some time passed.
Did you have to talk to Sarge during that time?
No, Sarge wasn't actually active really during that time.
Yeah, he was.
He was kind of
in
on
and
his.
out.
Yeah, he was kind of out. Sarge was
Dude.
at that event,
think he was debriefing from the military and stuff at the time.
So then Austin Harden, who was a prospect at the time, somehow I got in contact with him, found out you guys were working at the Battlegrounds field before it opened up, came out to help out, talked to Darren about getting on the team, and became a prospect at that point.
Well, that's where the infamous photo of you playing airsoft in a chair.
Correct, yeah, Battleground. I was on the team at the time, but I decided to pull out my chair
Tactic chair.
and
Yeah, there was a whole
sitting in
thing
my
about
tactic
Chairsoft
chair,
back then.
playing Chairsoft. Of course, that was sometime later. But my first event actually with you guys, and I was a prospect at the time, was there at Brushy Mountain. And we went to that event, played there, and I guess that goes into my call sign, because at that event is where I got my call
Was that
sign.
one of your first events with us?
That was.
Brushy?
That was
my
one of my
God.
first events with you guys was at Brushy. And, of course, me being terrible at throwing hand grenades, apparently, throws a grenade, a
Understatement
smoke
of the year.
grenade at a wall, and then the infamous throwing a frag grenade at our teammates.
Hey, we have video of that. We
We
have
have
video proof
video
of that,
of
so we
that.
probably throw that in.
And so from that point on, I can't remember which of you gave me the call sign blooper.
I think it was me.
I think it was...
Because I was creating like a blooper reel or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, that's his...
Of course, it was my own fault because I posted the video evidence of it later on.
It's because you enjoy.
What's your YouTube channel name?
I think call sign blooper.
Yeah, Callsign Blooper. Go watch all of his fail videos of him
Yes.
throwing grenades.
Lots of fail videos.
And we have lots of undocumented ones as well.
So that's where I got the my call sign from, and kind of just moved on from that point. Eventually got patched in. I think it was at Black Ops. One of the times we went there is when I got patched in. And we were kind of just riding that out. We were doing stuff there at Battlegrounds, doing all those events, and then I ended up stepping down from the team at the time.
Betray.
I know, and then
Betrayed us all.
I think it was like 8 months later, because I was still coming out to some events.
Yeah. Then Rick and I would just hound him every time. he
Rick
came out.
and you would hound me every time, and even Lambert, and I think Marmar as well would constantly. Well, no, it wasn't Marmar because he was off.
Because every time
to
you'd
no
come out,
deploy.
you would just hang out with us.
Right.
All, like you just be on the team, dummy.
So eventually, through much convincing, not really that much convincing, I ended up joining the second time and then got promoted somehow in the grand scheme of things to executive. I don't even know how that whole process happened.
It's because you've always wanted to excel G2 in airsoft. You wanted to do the teching stuff. You've always wanted to do more than just show up to be a ref. So, and then we always talked. Always talked.
Well, and
You
it
guys
got-
talk too much sometimes.
It got
Yeah.
worse like after I joined the second time because then it's like
Really?
planning and everything. Because when I joined the second time was right after we didn't get the permit for the new field there in Huber. And so I joined back, helped actually clear everything off of that property so it could be sold. I guess my history with G2 two times. The first one more of just a random ref to more involved in the creating of different things.
And even during your first cycle, you were always, trying to help improve.
Yeah, more of a head
Nighthawk and
ref.
everything.
That's where I learned how to not create games. Because I think the first game mode that you let me actually run was terrible there at Battlegrounds. It was horrible.
It's going to happen.
Some would say hot garbage.
It was hot garbage.
Well, I mean, we were all kind of still new to it. We've only ran really Nighthawk and Explosive Sunset at the time, and those were already halfway produced for us when I took over.
Right.
So there's always ideas of stuff that you'd want to do and try out, see if it works because you've not experienced it somewhere else or whatever. So it's like we had a little bit more free reign to do that back then because
Well,
we had a smaller field.
And like when I came into actually doing airsoft, my only experience was with G2 because I didn't really see what other people were doing, but seeing what G2 was doing at the time with the the explosives and all that different stuff was just really enticing.
Yeah.
And the way that we were running the games at the time were really interesting, I think.
Yeah, and we're bringing that all back this
Right.
year.
So it's more than just...
We're going to make games fun again.
Yeah. More than just your random, like, airsoft go and shoot people. Because I got a lot to say about I-70.
I
That
think all of us do.
that definitely applied a lot to that. But,
Yeah, we did what we could when we had that place.
yeah.
And
Well,
I think we
and
did really well.
The only time it was good for me was when G2 was running stuff there. So, because, like, even... It kind of does apply to some of the history with G2. You know, some of us guys would go out there on our off weekends and go play, but we ended up being the ones having to run everything, being the ones having to ref stuff, and I can get into my worst airsoft memory when it comes to that part. So,
Any more to say on your whole thing?
not really. I mean, my history with G2 is pretty much cut and dried. Go from just random ref to
Yeah, now you're
helping out with everything. Perspective, which I think you got a question on there about perspective of everything,
Yeah.
so we can get into that. But definitely perspective on how stuff is run is changed since coming on to G2. And really even my perspective since coming on a second time has changed a lot of stuff, because I was a little bit more immature, I think, when I first joined.
Still
and then
is.
and then now after coming back, because I'm involved in all the tech work now, so you know, managing time and all
tech
that
work
stuff.
has really taken off too. I mean, we're always getting guns and stuff.
It has, and I'm still learning stuff on top of that.
But you do really good work. I think I've only ever had like maybe one complaint, and it was from that guy down south. But we don't know if it was because of us or what.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and it's just trying to balance stuff, learn new things while trying to promote G2 and get it out there that, you know, hey, this is really cool to be involved in. Come play our games. Because people don't realize, like, the amount of quality, the amount of stuff we do in the background that it takes a lot of time and a lot of investment, not just out at the field, but, you know, online. Me and you always talking.
All the time.
I've told some of the other guys, I have to carve out like 2 hours of my day if you call me on the phone.
At least. We gotta set a timer. Just fucking remind us to stop.
I'll get on sometimes. Like, I'll get on like after work, after dinner. It'd be like, I don't know, 7:30, and I'm gonna go to bed. I'll go do a few things, you know, go do a few chores, and then I, you know, go to actually lay down, and they're still talking, and I'm like, it's an hour and a half later. Like,
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have high expectations of us at the field, our community, and we don't want to disappoint them, so we will talk for hours. Trying to make sure that we cover... Over-engineering, trying to make sure that we cover every aspect that we can remember, and we don't always succeed.
And for me, that's like a big part of why I want to be on G2, is that aspect of it. Because like a lot of people, you know, still like to play. I still like to play. But I enjoy the...
all I want to do, honestly.
Well, I enjoy making...
Play?
I just want to play. That's all I'm here. I want to play airsoft, guys.
Well, see, I find enjoyment out of the reffing part of it. I find enjoyment out of creating the game modes, giving people an experience that they will want to come back and enjoy.
Not saying I don't. That's the whole reason I came.
Well, because like for me, you know, I think if anybody can experience just a quarter of the fun that I had at the first Fallen Warrior that I went to, like, it'll be great for everybody. Because I can remember as a new player, never having done airsoft. I was in milsim groups for video games, like Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4.
Arma.
So like Arma. So like I was a part of like that whole group of wanting to do milsim stuff, and then doing it in airsoft. Well, that was just a bonus for me. And so I remember out there at Fallen Warrior holding what was Chow Hall for like half the day. Just up in that building, and that was the most fun I ever had, because I'd never had experience with that, doing that before. So if, you know, people have that same experience, well, I want to bring that to them.
Yeah, it's going to be... hopefully this Explosive Sunset on March 29th
Mm-hmm.
will be just as good as that. I'm really
I'm hoping
hoping.
so. I'm hoping so.
We're getting a good turnout so far. So
Yeah, we're almost sold out of tickets.
Open up some tickets here soon, hopefully, which would be amazing. So.
Yeah, I think once I can't remember if Gabe still calls his group SRT or not, but if whenever they finish buying tickets and SWAT finishes buying tickets, like they're sold out.
Mhm.
And I think we'll probably open up, I don't know, maybe 5 or 10 more.
Per team, yeah.
What are you doing, Kat?
So I guess we want to go into Trevor's history with G2.
Yeah, Trevor, let's swing on over to you, Narco.
So I started playing airsoft. I was probably like 12, and it was just backyard with friends, little spring guns from Walmart. You know, my first guns I bought for like $20-$30 from a friend. He gave me like, I don't know, 4 of them, and I would just go to, honestly, Gavin's house. Gavin, Limpy, Gimpy, whatever you want to call him. We'd go over there, would play with friends, just hang out in the backyard. Well, my first ever experience playing at a field was at I-70 for Gavin's birthday. And I was like, oh my goodness, I was looking forward to it. I've never been. It was super cool. I've watched all these airsoft videos, watched, Novrich, Silo, all the big YouTubers back in the day. And I went, and it was us and a couple friends and maybe like 3 other people, and it was pretty lackluster. And I was just like, man, this is not what I expected an airsoft field to be like. And while I was there, I heard about this team that comes out on the weekends that they have like police officers and SWAT and like all these, they do cool events and night games and all this stuff. And I was like, that sounds really cool. I ought to go out sometime. Me at the time not knowing that G2. And I heard of G2 way before I even realized. So first time I went to G2 was at the new field, or the current field at Camp Victory.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I've never been to Battlegrounds. I never went.
Unfortunately, because that place was amazing.
I've seen so many pictures. Everyone talks about it. I was like, dude, I would have loved that, but never went. First day I went. I looked at pictures yesterday. The first time I went, I think, was August, the first weekend of August, the year you guys were at Camp Victory. So you guys have been there for a month, maybe a couple weeks. So I went out with a couple friends, Gavin, who's on the team now, and we just went out and played. And first day I was there, I was like meeting all you guys, saying hi to Angie, Sean. Like I knew Sean, and I just kind of started talking to people, and yeah. So then after I gone a couple times, played, started asking like, hey, you guys need help with anything? Kind of like what Mar did. It's like, hey, you guys want help with that tent? So I just would ask help, like if you guys wanted help with anything.
Yeah.
I'd get there at 9 o'clock when y'all opened, and I kind of hung out for 3 hours before we did anything, or 2 hours before we did anything.
Yeah, 'cause we always had like an hour of like getting stuff set up and
Right.
everything in the morning.
That was
Getting
back-
That
everything
was
ready.
before you had the shop.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You got the first time I was there was out of the trailer. I got there like 10 minutes maybe after you guys pulled in with the trailer, and
I'm so glad we got that shop now. Because loading and unloading all the time was
even since I've been on the team, like that, yeah.
Well, people don't realize, like, you and Angie would have to set up the trailer the night before.
Oh yeah, we'd prep the trailer here at the house the night before, and then we go out grocery shopping like on a Thursday or something for any food items that we were going to be doing. Then Friday was prep work, and then Saturday, we'd have to drive it out there and whatever.
If you forgot
it was
something,
a lot
you were
of
kind of screwed.
yeah. I mean, it was a lot to get prepped for the weekends. So I'm really, really grateful that we get enough people to come out that we could afford to pay for that building in cash. You know, I mean, like we didn't have to go into debt for nothing. So
Yeah, I mean, we're like 95% of the way there to have a turnkey building.
oh yeah,
Pretty soon we got some really cool stuff coming.
yeah.
But yeah, so I just had asked to help, like, hey, you guys want help with anything? And slowly I was just like, hanging around. And I can't remember if it was, I think it was Angie. Angie's like, you wanna, be a ref, like help out on, like just help run some games to give you like a percentage off when you play. And I was like, oh, that'd be cool. Well, yeah, sure, whatever. So I slowly just started being a ref. And my mom, for Christmas or my birthday, that following year, ended up buying me the platinum pass.
Yeah.
So I got sweatshirts, I got other cool things here and there, got some percentages off for deals and all that type of stuff.
Yep.
And I kind of just did that. I kind of just helped out and ref stuff. And for the longest time, y'all were like, you gonna join the team? You gonna join the team? I was like, nah, I don't want to. I'm good. I don't need something
You were
else to
basically
do.
doing it.
I was basically doing it. Like, I don't know why I didn't, but it was just like, I don't want to add something else, because I was doing a lot at that time. I still am. But
Yeah.
I was doing other things, and I was like, I don't want to commit to something else I can't really hold up my end of the bargain on.
Yeah.
And it was later that year, so what, 2023, December of 23.
Yeah.
Y'all essentially forced me to join the team. They kind of held me in the corner and kicked me until I said yes.
Similar experience when I came back on the second time.
Seems
That's
like we
weird
need to
how
go
that works.
couples therapy in a
Bullying
couple years.
people into joining.
You want to go to couples therapy in a couple
Yeah.
years. But yeah, so me, Gavin, Phil, and Alex, Vincent, all joined the team all at the same time. We all got patched in. It was more of a surprise. It was like Angie had messaged me on Discord. She's like, "Hey, do you want to be part of the team?" And I was like, "I guess, sure." Like it wasn't something I was seeking out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so like you were kind of doing the work without the benefits.
Yeah.
You know, so we're like, just join the team, and then you can get, free games, 20% off stuff, or whatever. You know, like it makes more sense to be on the team. You're doing the work already.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
and now he's sucked in. Can't get.
Yeah.
We won't be able to shake.
400
him off.
sandbags later, I can't leave.
Do you regret not joining sooner?
No, I think it all happened in the right amount of time.
You think so?
Yeah, I'm the type of person that I don't like saying I'll do something and then not showing up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it just feels yucky. I don't know. I don't want to promise something and
Right.
fail.
I mean,
on that.
I think it goes with the adage that a man is only as good as his word.
Mm-hmm.
So I fully believe in that. And by you waiting to like either lighten your load with life or whatever, really helped out, because I mean you come all the time.
Yeah.
And you've committed. You join us on Discord for talks and everything. You're doing our media stuff. It takes you forever to get photos.
I
and
know,
videos
horrible.
out.
It's not like I work like 50 hours a week and getting married and planning a wedding or anything. People complain they don't have the pictures the day after. Specific people in Discord that I'm talking to.
Yeah, they do that every time.
I know.
Like, I saw somebody take photos. Are they up yet? It's like, well, we don't.
Dude, it's maybe 12 hours later. Like,
Yeah, we just don't dump them. We put our little logo on them so people know where they came
I
from.
go through and get
stuff.
rid of all the blurry ones, and specifically the ones that blooper, because no one likes to see his ugly face.
Well, I don't play enough for there to even be pictures. It's like, I can't tell you how many of our customers are like, "You're playing today? What?
You're like, who's this guy playing?
I know. I'm so stoked to be able to go out and play more this year.
Yeah, so you guys will definitely be able to play a lot more this year, which will be. I mean, I will too, because I didn't really play a whole lot last year as much as I wanted. But
Yeah, we've gotten a lot of the shop stuff now, so it's going to lead out a lot more time to play.
I did a lot of that last year. That was shop and media stuff was.
I'm getting a little old and slower, but I'm still going to get out there and
You tactical
slay some
wheelchair.
people. Yeah, I'm just going to tactic crawl everywhere.
But yeah, so I joined the team, and it was within the first month of me being on the team, I was consistently in Discord calls, and they always happened to be later at night. I don't remember exactly what time. Well, I
would say it was probably around like 8 o'clock.
Right, like
well,
our
they
normal,
would
like
go
8:30,
They would go
9:30.
later into the night, like
Yeah, sometimes
10,
you join us at like
11.
11 because you were busy doing stuff,
Yeah.
working or whatever.
So I would join, talk, whatever, and I don't know exactly how many times, but more than I'd.
A couple, definitely a few.
It was
Yeah.
it was at least two.
Maybe a dozen.
I was probably it was at least five.
Yeah, it was about, I'd say 5, yeah.
5 sounds about right. Well, I have a tendency of when I'm tired, I'm just gonna fall asleep. Thanks, Dad. My dad can fall asleep anywhere, so I got that from him for sure. But I woke up next morning. Well, I woke up about 3 o'clock in the morning, seeing I was in my office chair still, and Discord was pulled up, and I'm the only one in it. And I was like, oh, shoot. Like,
We'd be talking to him, and then like you wouldn't hear him sleeping. So we're just like, Trevor, Trevor, we asked you a question. You like? We're like, oh, he fell asleep again. So we just sit there and make fun of him for a half hour.
Well, there was one time where you could hear him snoring so loud. You're like,
Oh yeah.
oh my!
Yeah.
I think that's the day we gave him Narco as his call sign.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, that's what I was getting to was I woke up, shut everything off, went to bed, and I wake up the next morning, and I think it was a Saturday, maybe a Sunday, I don't know. And I look at Discord, and the notifications, and I was like, oh, that's my call sign changed to narcolepsy. And I was like, I remember I fell asleep in the Discord call for like the 4th time last night. So so there's a couple messages in the chat that were making fun of me, and I was kind of warranted, but I ended up shortening it to Narco. So narcolepsy. So there's the call sign. It's,
You earn your call sign around here.
Yeah.
That's for
Yeah.
sure.
That's
backpack
unless your
over
name
here.
is Seven, then
Well,
you just
my-
make your own.
Backpack.
My call sign goes back beyond the start of time, so
Yeah.
I earned that one a long time ago.
Dawn Before Time.
Yeah.
Dinosaur.
Yeah, it
whatever
predates
that show is.
G2. Anything else you want to add to that?
No, I don't think so. I think that's probably about it.
Okay.
Pretty much up to recent history.
Me
I
and
think.
Gavin kind
Wait.
of had the same story.
so-
We did everything together, so.
So, oh yeah, we just recently promoted you to exec because of
Same
all-
same thing. I got forced into that too. no, I'm joking. I'm joking.
No, that one was not. But you've always had a knack for wanting to help out with the media side of stuff and everything. And I think it's really paying off this year.
Knack. I didn't say I was good at it. I just like it.
Yeah, you don't have to be great, as long as something's getting posted and it's not
We'll
distasteful.
grow eventually.
Yeah. It'll happen over time. You'll gain skills over time. I'm not the best at it either.
Yeah, it's really nice having Milo help with that a little bit too.
Yeah.
Exec and training.
Yeah.
Milo, exec in training.
Yeah, but it's really nice to have someone else. I mean, you obviously are doing podcast stuff. Like everyone, it's not one person doing everything, which
Yeah.
just kills people.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know if the people know exactly our breakdown of our roles, what it means to be an executive. Did you know that before you came in?
Before I was an executive or before I was on the team?
Before you were an executive.
Kinda, because
Because you can see the amount of extra effort that goes in from
because
everybody who's an
I
executive.
knew who was an executive due to roles in Discord and also just having conversations in person, and it was just expectations of being there more often a month, being there, able to run the shop if Darren and Angie aren't there, resolving conflict. You're close to the level of owner-ish, where you have responsibility of helping manage team and just smooth things out. But I don't think I ever really realized what that actually meant, and doing it until the last couple months, just helping out with stuff and going through building Discord calls, running through tax ops, doing this media. There's a lot, and it's not. Nobody ever really knows how much Darren and Angie actually do. It gets said a lot, but it gets said a lot, but
Yeah.
yeah,
It's a bit of an effort, that's for sure.
I'd say
It's great though.
yeah.
All right, well, let's hit the